Hey guys, are you facing a property tax foreclosure sale? Or maybe they're just foreclosing on your house for property tax? Are you tired of paying unlawful property taxes? I bet you're wondering right now what you could do with that extra money that you've been giving them for property tax. Would you keep paying if you knew that it was illegal for them to charge you property tax? Today, we're going to review my eliminated property tax lawsuit package, and I will show you the zip file with all the documents in it that you'll get if you invest in this package. At checkout, this zip file will be sent to your email address. Today, we're going to do something a little bit different than I do on most of my videos. So I'm going to give you guys some homework to do today. Those of you who are interested in this unlawful property tax situation, I want you guys to do some research. I want you to check in your state to find out if your state has laws or statutes that require property owners to register their property deed in the county recorder's office. And if your state does not have a law, please type in the comment section down below the name of your state and no next to it. If your state does have a law that mandates that property owners have to register the deed to their property in the county recorder's office, please type your state in down below and yes, and also include the address for that law. And that way we can check it out and see, this is going to be a group project. It's going to be interesting to see which states don't have and which states do, or if any states do have a law. So it's going to be interesting. Now, this eliminated property lawsuit package will be perfect to be used in any state. Now, we're going to start out with a few questions. Do you live in fear of being attacked by attorneys if you speak out about the unlawful property tax collection? Do you have the courage to attack the system to eliminate your unlawful property taxes? Do you know what document is used to initiate the property taxes against your property? And one last question, did you know property tax collection on private property is illegal? In this video, I will answer the questions above and you will learn how to reclaim the document used to start the unlawful property tax collection against your property. Hey, my name is Guy Neighbors and I'm with Advocates for Justice Paralegal Service. I'm a paralegal who specializes in structuring legal documents and lawsuit packages to hold attorneys liable for their fraudulent misconduct. I'm an expert in researching loopholes attorneys use to escape the laws and rules and structuring. I'm also an expert in structuring lawsuit packages and documents to attack the attorney's misconduct in court. I use our private Facebook group, Foreclosure Rescue, to communicate with clients all across the United States of America. I don't want to mention any particular states because I know that there's people trolling trying to figure out how to get in our way. And yes, I have been attacked by the federal government trying to shut me down. I've been attacked by the state also trying to shut me down, and I'm still here. So there must be some reason why they keep bugging me wanting to shut me down. The communication that we have between the members of the group allow me to receive real-time feedback about how the attorneys are trying to escape their liability. So I'm able to make adjustments to the legal documents and to the lawsuit packages to screw those doors shut so the attorneys can't use those excuses anymore. On this YouTube channel, I will be sharing free information with you that you will be able to use in your case today. If you guys have any questions about a legal situation, leave them in the comment section down below, and I will try to answer them for you if I can. If this is your first time here and you want to learn how to hold attorneys liable for getting up in your face, subscribe down below and click the bell so you don't miss anything because we're going to start right now. This video is part of a playlist entitled Lawsuit Package Video Instructions. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a video like this for each of the lawsuit packages that I have. So people will be able to go to my YouTube channel and review the instructions on how to personalize the lawsuit package. So you'll have an idea of what you need to do before you even make your investment. And you'll be able to see that the documents are real and that I don't play. In this video, you will learn how to reclaim the document used to start the property tax collection against your property. I have taken a lot of heat for structure in this limited property tax lawsuit package. And because of that, I want to address some of the property tax misconceptions. The first one I want to talk about is if we do not pay property tax, the schools will suffer. That's not true. Fact of the matter is, it's constitutionally unlawful for the schools to be funded by property tax. And the reason is, if that was the case, the schools in a poor neighborhood would not receive any funding. They wouldn't have anything. So no, that property taxes, maybe a portion of it's going for the school. You drive by the city municipal building, you will see a whole fleet of brand new zone enforcement cars and trucks that they drive around town all day harassing people with unlawfully. The second exception is there is a law requiring property owners to pay property taxes on private property. There's no law that requires property owners to pay taxes on private property. And it's even against the Constitution to do that. And we'll go over the scheme later on how they're pulling this off. And then you can decide if you want to keep paying or not. Now, this is an interesting one. Now, before I talk about this one, I want to let you guys know the reason that I started looking into this and researching this property tax issue was because I had a couple of clients on my group that were facing a unlawful tax lien foreclosure. Yeah, I know. I'm thinking, well, wait a minute. I already know it's illegal for them to charge property tax. How can they foreclose on someone's house using a tax lien when it's illegal for them to tax you? But they do all the time. So a lot of research went into this. And to be honest with you, the excessive amount of research went into it, mainly because it was kind of easy. I mean, seriously. There's no law that mandates that you have to file your deed in the county recorder's office. So if there's no law that says you have to file it there, and that deed is what initiates the property tax, the zoning, coding, and all of those headaches that you have to put up with, and because your deed was registered, allowed the bank to charge you mortgage payments. Yeah, I know. It's true. I've done the research. Now, the misconception that I'm talking about here is that someone will steal your property if it's not registered in the county recorder's office. And people stealing your property is what's going on right now with your property registered in their office. And I'll explain that to you. Back in the day, all you had to do was take your documents down, take your deed down to have it notarized, signed and notarized, and you stored it in your Bible. And nobody could take over your property unless they had a deed that was signed and notarized and dated prior to yours. And things were simple. But now we have to send our deed to the county recorder's office and registered in their office and all that. So here's the deal with that. I have people in my Facebook group that are fighting foreclosure right now. And they have all the documentation to show that their property was paid off, paid in full. So how could it be in foreclosure if it's paid off in full? Lien release, the deed, all that. And they're still facing foreclosure. And the reason they're facing foreclosure is because the attorneys filed a fake assignment against their property. So where would the attorneys get property information they need to put on the fake assignment? From the county recorder's office would be my guess. Think about it. And if you think I'm wrong, let me know in the comment section down below. Now, another misconception, and I think this is the misconception that makes people grumpy. I've had people attack my YouTube video, leave nasty comments, those people, I should help those people get a job, or, So basically, some people think that only deadbeat people are the ones that are not able to pay the property tax. And I think that's just so stinking outrageous. It's ridiculous. People who have trouble paying their property tax are people like you and I, who are putting up with the crap we're putting up today with this coronavirus pandemic that was created by humans. And now no one can work. How about you lose your job, a death in the family, your parents pass away and you have to go fly to another state to make it to the, dude, there are so many things that could cause people to be struggling. It doesn't have to do with people being deadbeat. And I'll tell you right now, if what I'm doing pisses you off, there's a door. You're probably going to be better off getting out of the way. And if you enjoy paying taxes and giving your money away, you keep doing it. Now, this eliminate property tax lawsuit package is the result of months of research. The illegal property tax collection scheme it starts out, they trick you into allowing them to register the deeds of your property in their office. And then once the deed is registered in the office, they reclassify your property into one of their 3 commercial classifications. And that would be commercial, agricultural, or residential. And a lot of people don't realize that resident means actually a house that a government official lives in. Yeah, check it out. I've done my homework on this. Now, here's the problem. Under USC Title 42, Section 1982, property rights of citizens shows the city or state cannot control or take land because they do not have jurisdiction. Under USC Title 42, Section 1982, it states that federal or state government/agencies must have a monetary proprietary interest in your real property to have jurisdiction over it. If your land has no government funding or is not a subsidized government project, then agencies have no proprietary interest in your property and therefore no jurisdiction to be telling you anything, to be making you do anything. By voluntarily placing one's personal private property deed into their corporate records, it is assumed that one is a debtor to the state. And if you want to look up who a debtor may be, you can check that out under 11 USC Code Section 8. Now, when the attorney placed your document in their records, the attorney created a secret constructive quasi-trust on the presumption that their state corporation has interest in your land. And now they control your property rights, such as possession, and you are forced to pay annual tax in return for benefit. So let's talk about some of those benefits that you get after you're forced to pay property taxes. Some of these benefits are the privilege of applying to the government corporation for building permits to regulate the use of your land, control or uses of zoning, land and plan certificates of occupancy, and etc. Yep, all started by the property tax issue. And they really do, Airbnb people, they really give them the business because they control everything they're doing. And that whole control they have over the Airbnbs is all generated by this property tax issue. You handle this property tax issue and they cannot be telling you what to do on your private property unless you're injuring somebody. The attorney, without your consent, recorded the deed, thereby selling your land to captivity, slavery of their government corporation. Had the deed not been recorded, no bank can place a mortgage against it. No one else A sheriff, IRS agent, a tax agency would be able to place a lien on your property if it was not recorded in the county recorder's office. This is huge. And now you're kind of thinking, I see how the scheme works now. You have been damaged by having your deed on a record as an asset of a corporation, state government. And since it is pledged as collateral for debts which you supposedly owe, the state has pledged in return your land deed as security collateral for state debts. I've done the homework. When the state accepts loans from the federal government, the corporate United States, the state hypothecates posts the deed to your land as security for its debts. Your land property was posted as security for the government's debts with the U.S. Department of Commerce. And you can check if you like. If you check and find anything that's different than what I'm saying here, you leave me a comment down below and leave me the address of whatever it is you're using to verify, because I need to know. Now, where rights are secured by the Constitution are involved, there can be no rule or legislation which would abrogate them. Miranda versus Arizona. Now, I have several case law here I'm going to cite, and I will leave the complete address for the case law down below. I don't really want to take the time to say all the numbers and all that stuff, because just the name is all you need to know for now. And if you need to look these case laws up, or you want to like check them or whatever, they'll be listed down below in the comment section. In the beginning, we talked a little bit about the fear, and this is what I want to say about that. The claim and exercise of a constitutional right cannot be converted into a crime. So the attorneys can blow smoke in your face and do all that they want to do. Fact of the matter is, you're not committing no crime. You have a right to do what you need to do. There will be no sanction or penalty imposed upon one for exercising a constitutional right. See Sherrod versus Cullen. To disregard constitutional law and to violate the same creates sure liability for the one involved. And I like this one because this case law is important. A lot of people think that these state officers are have immunity, and the judge has immunity and everybody has immunity. No. Some people have immunity as long as they stay within the law. And when they drag you in their court, they've already stepped outside the law long before you get to the court. So don't even worry about that. State officers may be held personally liable for damages based on actions taken in their official capacity. Hafer versus Mello. Now remember, I'll leave these case laws in there so you guys can review them later. The Constitution of the United States of America and case law shows that since captation taxes must be apportioned among the states in accordance with the United States Constitution to be legal. And the current property tax collection does not meet the constitutional requirements to be a legal tax. In the limited property tax lawsuit package, you will be suing the person who registered your property, the county recorder of deeds office, or the tax assessor, or whoever it is that's holding and the state for failure to disclose private property was required by law to be recorded. The Recorder of Records Office has a good faith obligation to fully disclose and serve written notice in advance of any legal incapacities and disabilities which are about to befall on you by recording, which are about to fall. I'll let you know. The Recorder's Office has a good faith legal obligation to explain full disclosure and serve written notice in advance of legal incapacities or disabilities which are about to befall upon you by recordation. See UCC 1-203 and 1-201, 25, 26, and 27. So we're going to open up the screen sharing and go over the documents that you will get when you invest in this program. And I want you guys to remember, this program is new. It's not a lot of people doing what I'm doing right now. So this program is new, and I want whoever invests in this program to join my Facebook page. And when you join, there's a couple of questions you ask. Just make sure you put in the question that you invest in property tax. Just put property tax. That's all you got to put. And then I'll know why you're there, and I'll include you in the group. And this way, I can keep close track on how things are going and what kind of a response you get when you. Because see, here's the deal: there's no law that mandates that you have to file your deed in their office. So at the end of the day, it's not about property tax. I just use that to get in the door so people understand what's going on. Okay. At the end of the day, it's not about property tax. At the end of the day, it's about getting control of the deed to your property so you can put it in your Bible and store it there. It's about removing it from the county recorder's office. It's about eliminating giving them your money when they're violating the law. So they're going to tell you, oh, well, you have to pay property taxes and you have to do all this. You know what? If you're worried about the schools not having funding, you can still donate money to the schools or whatever. I had a guy that actually he didn't use my program. I think he did the tax scroll thing, which I've heard works, but sometimes after a year or two they put you back on it. But anyway, he did that, and they were really grumpy with him. The city sent him a letter with an itemized list of the charges that he would be charged if they had to send the ambulance out to his house, or if the fire department had to come out to his house, or if the police have to come out to his house. Now, he lived out in the country, so he didn't have any garbage pickup or any of that. So they sent him a list of what they're going to be charging him if they have to send the services out to his house. And I guess they thought maybe that was going to be, he was excited, and I don't blame him. So I think I would rather pay for the services when I need them. Think about it. They're making you pay for these services every day when you're not using them. So where is that money going? I don't know. But I know that I would rather pay when I need them. How often have you had to call the police to your house? How about the fire department? The ambulance? I can't ever remember having to call an ambulance to my house. So that's something to think about. Now, this whole county recorder's office thing is what is used to initiate the mortgage payments. It initiates all the liens against your property because it's in their office. And they're the only ones stealing the information while they have it in their office, and it don't need to be. So you guys can make your mind up how you want to play this. We're going to go ahead and get into the documents. Now, this is what the zip file looks like when it's sent to your email address that is connected to your credit card at checkout. So if you click on it, it'll open up into this window, and then you have to click on it again to actually open it up, see the documents. Now, the first document we're going to talk about is the notice of claim letter. Now, the strategy behind using this obviously is, you don't want to have to go to court unless they make you. So you want to send them your notice of claim letter, and this notice of claim letter outlines what's in the document, what's in the lawsuit. It pretty much includes the most important part of what's in the document. And the goal here is to let them know what you're bringing and what the problem is. Most of the time when people file a notice of claim, they don't address, they just say, we're gonna, and they don't really get into it. And then they want to wait till later and save all this stuff till later. Well, we're not saving nothing till later because we ain't trying to go to court. We want them to know what's going on and what you're going to do about it, and give them an opportunity to take care of the problem before you file your lawsuit. Now, you'll get two of these letters. This letter here I put on a letterhead from my computer, so you can see how nice it looks if you put it on a business letterhead or an unofficial letterhead or some kind of legal letterhead. There's also another notice of claim letter in the package. That notice of claim letter is just on a Word, so you can copy and paste that into your business letterhead from your computer. I did it that way because there are fields in this, and if you don't have the same software, it'll be real hard to figure out where the fields are and whatever. So you can just post the whole thing in another letter. So we're going to move on to the next one. Now this is the lawsuit packet. This is the lawsuit document. And you can see here, you're going to have to replace this red font with your information and then turn the red font to black. And you want to do that throughout the document. Here, you're the plaintiff, so you go and place a John Doe, the attorney's name, the county recorder's office, and then the state. And if your mortgage is really old and you don't think the attorney is going to be around, and if you can't find them, then I would switch this around and put the attorney as third and put the county recorder and the state as the first two. You want to have the lesser one first so that you can make them, so you can squeeze in the right place. And this is what the lawsuit looks like, a $5.5 million complaint for violation of the Constitution, violation of 18 U.S.C. 241, Section 2414, conspiracy against rights for unlawful property tax collection, racketeering, and violation of the IRS code. Yes, we are addressing RICO in this and violation of the IRS code. Just want to show you the first top of the page so that you can see the document's real and we're not playing. Okay, so this is affidavit, and when you fill this out, you're going to put the details in here that reflect the issue with your illegal property tax collection, and you can add as an exhibit any documentation that you have proving that they're coming after you for taxes, for property taxes. And some of the things you should add in here are the things that are in your lawsuit document. You know, just outline a couple, 3 or 4 of the main things that you know that they, you know, like there's no law that mandates that you file your deed in the county recorder's office, so you're getting it back. We need to remember, we don't want to get hung up on whether or not you have to pay property tax or whatever, because at the end of the day, this is not even about the property tax. Okay, at the end of the day, for you, this is about getting control of the deed to your property so you can put it back in your Bible. That's what this is about. The property tax issue is not your problem. Okay, we're going to move on to the next. This United States Affidavit of State Citizenship. There's actually a video on YouTube, and the title of that video is how to get on the Do Not Detain list. And that video teaches you how to fill out your passport application in a manner that you can reclaim your. When you reclaim your state citizenship, these third-party debt collectors can't come after you. They can't sue you unless there's an injured party. And if they do sue you, you can force them to drag you into common law court. So they can't sue you unless there's an injured party. And this is very important to understand, because when you can verify your state citizenship, you're not liable to pay taxes. You can carry a firearm in any state, a concealed weapon in any state. I mean, you have all these rights that you have, because once you're a state citizen of a republic state of the state you're born in, that makes you a citizen of all the other states too. And this is what they're taking away from us to get away with the schemes that they're doing to steal money from us. Now, this document I put together, if you do not have the time or the funding to invest in that process that the passport takes you through, then you can use this document instead and attach a certified copy of your birth certificate to it. and I would attach this and your birth certificate attached to your lawsuit as an exhibit. And remember, when you add an exhibit, you want to renumber all the pages when you're done. So if your lawsuit's 10 pages and your exhibit's 5 pages, then when you're all done adding everything, you want to go through on the front and renumber the pages just with a blue ink pen. 1 through 15, 2 through 15, 3 of 15, 4 of 15, all the way to 15 of 15. And the reason you do this is because now no pages can be removed from your document without it being obvious. And here's another interesting fact. They have one of these for the federal government, and that's where I got this idea. I thought, I wonder if there's why should we have to pay to be able to recognize our state citizenship when that whole thing, when you fill in your passport, you have to send them a certified copy of your birth certificate. So it's that birth certificate is what actually puts you in the position you need to be in. So we're going to take that birth certificate and attach it to this, and this is included free in your package, so you don't have to like send and do all that stuff. But it is nice to have what they send you, and I'll tell you why. Because you have verification in that card that you are a citizen of the Republic state you were born in, and these other fools can't mess with you. So you have your card, not to mention when you get stopped by the popo, just whip out your card. And when it comes back, if you're on the do not detain list, they're not going to tell you, but they're probably not going to mess with you either. Now, I like this document. Now, we have a lot of fun with this. So what I do is teach people how to attack these situations in a non-conventional manner. And pretty much to sum that out, what you're doing is you're holding the person who signed the document to attack you responsible as the #1 defendant in your lawsuit. So you're going to have the attorney's name as the #1 defendant who filed your stuff into the county recorder's office. And that creates a problem because now the attorney can't represent itself and it can't litigate a case they're party to. And one other thing that people don't understand is that the attorney cannot go into court and represent the law firm he's affiliated with, because that would be considered pro se representation, and it's not allowed. A corporation cannot go into court and represent itself. And so you kind of jam the attorney out real good. And now the attorney has to call somebody else to help them. And when the new attorney finds out that you listed the attorney as #1 defendant, they'll figure out that you understand what's really going on, and they won't really want to get involved because what the attorney's doing is illegal, and they're going to try to help them cover it up. And you see there's some liability problems there because the new attorneys could be added to the program as well. Times they're so arrogant that the attorney that you have listed as #1 defendant will in court, they'll file a notice of appearance in court and try to represent themselves and the law firm. And no, and that's what we have this demand to strike. Demand to strike the notice of appearance from the court record. The corporation cannot represent itself in court. So once that happens, then everything the attorney filed gets thrown out the window, and then the attorney they have to start over. And there's no law that mandates you have to put your stuff in their office. So if there's no law that mandates you have to file your stuff in the office, you're just letting them know you want your stuff back. And if they don't want to give it back, then we can do what we need to do. One of the other things I want you guys to do too is leave a comment down below how long you've been paying property tax. That would be interesting. And the amount that you think you've paid over the years that you've been paying on and if it comes over 5.5 million, you're going to have to increase the amount on your lawsuit. Okay, never mind. Let's move on. I think I have one more, I think. Now, Generally, when it's time to file and serve, I just tell you guys, especially the serving part, you're going to have to figure that out. You're going to have to research your state, the process of service, and then your state, Google that and figure out what you need to do to make sure that the parties are properly served. And you need to remember, the more people you add, the more people you're going to have to reply to in the end, if it gets to that. So keep that in mind. That's why we only add 3 people, because those 3 people that we add are usually the main the ones that made money off, or that are making money off of you right now. So that's something you want to keep in mind. Now, the silver cover sheet is a sheet that you have to fill out for them to accept your documents. And the Roman numerals in the cover sheet reflect the numerals here. So the information next to the Roman numeral is what you would need to put on the form, on the silver cover sheet form. And it's pretty simple. When you look at it and look at this, you'll understand. Now, a couple of things about their forms. They will give you the complaint form to fill out. I think it's like 2 or 3 pages or something. It's ridiculous. They'll give it to you and try to get you to fill that out. They'll give it to you. What I suggest people do is get these forms off the website before you go and have them already filled out, so you're in control of the program when you get there. And a lot of times, if you go there and you ask them for the forms, they'll give you the stupid complaint form that's just a couple of pages long that don't address nothing that you need to be addressing. And they want you to fill it out and sign it. And a lot of people will take it and they'll sign it and they'll put it underneath their complaint form and file a complaint form on the top and give it to them. But we don't do that either, because when you leave, they're going to take what you signed and put it on the top, because they need that one that's just a few pages long. They ain't trying to have to deal with 28 pages of blah, blah, blah that they ain't trying to hear or do anything about. They want the easy one so they can hurry up and throw you out of court, basically, at the end of the day. So keep that in mind. If you have to fill it out, or if they bring it and give it to you to fill out, I would just take it and say thank you and put it in your notebook, in the back of your notebook, and take it home and use it for something in the bathroom. I'm going to leave it open for you guys what you want to use it for, but that's what I'm saying. Okay, that's the last one. So if you guys are ready to step up and get control of the document that they are using to initiate the unlawful property tax against your property, head over to my website at winincourtnow.com and make your investment. And usually what I tell people is, when you make your investment, take a look at the main document that you're going to be filing, the lawsuit document, and review it. Open it up on your computer, review it, highlighting areas you have questions on. And when you get all the areas highlighted, you can give me a call. I'll get on the phone and we'll go over them to make sure that you understand what you got and what you need to do and understand the document. Also, before you invest, I'd like you guys to go to my website and take a look at the disclaimer, because the disclaimer explains where my responsibilities are and where your responsibilities are. And that's very important to understand, because so many people think I'm an attorney. I'm not an attorney. There's a couple of things that I want to ask you not to do. Please do not send me your foreclosure documents. Okay, please don't email me your foreclosure documents. Please don't email me documents from your state case. Please don't email me anything without my consent, number one. And you guys have to understand, my job is not to help you work on what you are already working on over here in state court. Okay, my job is to help you get a whole new program over here in federal court going. That's what I help you with. And it's important that you understand that. And you can't mix the two, because what you were doing over here is kind of stinky, because it's in the conventional program, which is all fraud. So you can argue all you want, and when you're done, you still got the stink. And then the other program over here is the non-conventional program. And if you mix them up, the stink gets on this program. And the problem is If you keep it simple, there's no arguing. Once the arguing starts, then the judge gets to help them. And that's the way their program is set up. You're probably thinking, oh my God, I should have thought of that. Yeah, that's it. That's the way it's set up. So you keep it simple so there's no arguing. So when you guys are ready, head over to my website and do your research. Also scroll down and check out the most asked questions and answers section, because that section is very important. If you call me and you ask me questions that's in the section, I will know that you did not go and look at it, and you're going to get a bad grade. Okay. So also scroll down further and check out the testimonials. The testimonials are my Google reviews that I actually just copied and pasted from Google inside that little fancy thing that flashes across the screen. And my next video, we're going to talk about the document that I have posted on my website for $20 that smashes the medical debt collectors. And it has a whole bunch of wins already. And it's cheap right now on sale. We'll talk about that in the next video. But if you need it and you can't wait, get over there. You guys are ready to step up to the plate and hold these attorneys accountable? Subscribe down below and ring that bell so you don't miss anything. And I'll see you guys in the next video.